I wouldn't say I have a routine outside of waking up, brushing my teeth, having my breakfast and going training. I try and fit in a bit of stretching before I go out on the water. But as far as a routine goes, no, I don't have anything rigid. I'm not like a tennis player who has to go through there, blowing their hands and touching their socks before they take their first shot of the serve. I'm pretty easygoing. Once I've got my kit on, I just want to get on and get the session done. So we're now back training full time at Caversham with the British rowing team. We're in our small little bubbles and our bubbles don't overlap as we train. We're sort of cycling through morning and afternoon training sessions. Normally we do 2 sessions at Caversham, 1 session at home. So I'm still training Monday through to Saturday. Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays are 3-session days. And Wednesdays and Saturdays are 2-session days. Sundays are either off or some sort of recovery training. So we're back to business as usual, and to be honest, I quite enjoy the new setup. Having that 3rd session is a flexible time of when you can train. Sort of last year, for example, we'd always try and fit our training in, I guess, before 3:30 in the afternoon. But now what you're seeing is a lot of guys getting most of their training done in the morning, and when they can train in the evenings, it's more sort of 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon when they're actually starting those training sessions rather than trying to start at 2 o'clock and 2:30. So if you're someone out there that wants to become a professional rower and represent your country, whatever nationality you may be, I think you need to be sort of stubbornly determined. You have to be very self-driven and self-motivated. You can't be someone that relies on everyone around you to get the most out of yourself. You need to know how to get the most out of yourself. And you need to be willing to commit, really commit to the training and everything that comes along with that. If you're someone who's been training through your club system and your university or school system, then you already know that along the way you've had to sacrifice a lot of social aspects of not going out with your friends and getting drunk and partying and things like that because you've got a race coming up. If you want to turn professional, then that sort of steps up another layer because you're having to commit more time to training. And in the British team, we're always told that our health is our business. If we get injured or ill, then we can't train. If we can't train, then we can't perform. If we can't perform, we're not much use to anybody. So, you know, the more you want to go out and party, the more you want to go out and socialize, the more you want to be sort of a bit more reckless, then you're increasing those chances of injuring yourself or becoming ill, missing training, not being able to perform at your best. So you have to be really focused and prepared to make those sacrifices. They may seem easy, but once you get to this level, you know, you've had athletes that have missed the birth of their own children because they've been at World Championship events or training camps. I've missed funerals and weddings. You know, it can be tough, but I guess deep down there's a little bit of selfishness in there because you want to chase that dream and achieve that dream, and that dream isn't going to happen by itself. You need to be prepared to put in the time, put in the work, because everyone that you're going to go out there and race against is doing exactly what you're doing. So how can you get your barrel ball ahead of theirs when it crosses the finish line? I've been quite fortunate over my career to win a few things along the way, but I think you always remember your first. So for me, I've got good memories of sort of representing GB as a junior level, winning my first silver medal at the Junior World Championships, you know, winning my first gold medal as an under-23 athlete at the under-23 World Championships. Winning my first senior gold medal was also great, but you know, one of the memories that always sticks with me is when I won the PA at the Henley Royal Regatta at my first year at Oxford Brookes University. For me, that sort of stuck out as a really cool thing and a really nice memory because up until that point, there had been sort of a dry spell of Brookes winning those sort of major events. And it shows that whole social aspect. You come out of the boat tents, everyone's clapping for you, everyone's there supporting you. We went out and our final was against Yale University, so it was really cool racing an American university. And when you come back in, everyone's cheering and shouting for you and you get your medals and you go out and have a great time that evening. And so for me, that's always a memory that will stick with me. And you know, a lot of my best memories from rowing come from Henley Regatta. But that's something that will definitely stick with me for a long time, is winning at Henley Royal for the first time. So when people normally get asked this question, they bring up a sportsman or woman that has inspired them and someone that they want to sort of replicate their successes and do what they did. But for me, it might sound corny, but it's always been my close family. I've been lucky enough to grow up in a household where my parents and my friends and my grandparents have always been around me. They've always been supporting me, and I've always been there watching them work as hard as they can to give us the best lives that we can live. And so for me, it's been ingrained into me that if I want to become Olympic champion, then I need to work as hard as I've seen them work to achieve that dream. So that's just naturally been installed into me. I've been inspired by my family and my friends who work as hard as they can to make the most of sort of the short time we have on this earth. And for me, that's no different with sport. If I want to get to the Olympic Games and become an Olympic champion, then I need to be prepared to put in that time, put in that work, put in that effort. And you know, my family and friends are always going to be backing me and supporting me. So I'm really lucky to be in that situation. So for me, the race category that I like racing in the most is obviously sweep, because sweep beats sculling all the time. But I really like rowing in a coxless pair, and the cox pair was great as well. Unfortunately, they've scrapped the cox pair now. Had a lot of fun racing that with Noddy and Henry Fieldman a couple of years ago. Went rather well for us, but my all-time favourite boat has always been the coxless pair. I've seen, again, quite a lot of success in that boat, and I think it's the closest thing you're going to obviously get to a single scull. And I think, you know, the greatest thing about being in a single scull is if you win a race, you win it 100% because of you. And you know, the pair in sweep is the closest thing you're going to get. And if you win an event, then you know that at least 50% of sort of that achievement is down to you. And I personally really like that. I don't like having to rely on people around me. I like sort of putting the pressure on myself and having to perform in that aspect. Don't get me wrong, like the 8 is great fun. I've been happy and like lucky enough to be representing GB in the men's 8 for the last 2 years, and you know, it's a really good, fun, aggressive, adrenaline-filled boat to be part of. But when it comes down to sort of a technical, more personal level, for me, it's always got to be the coxless pair. Everyone in the squad listens to music. It sort of helps get through the sessions, and I think, you know, when you train as much as we do, you need something to switch off when you're doing these long, boring, steady state rows. Most of Bihi used to be the resident DJ, and he still is for the weight sessions, but obviously since COVID, we've had to move outside, and we're now training in a marquee. So everyone now has their headphones in and makes their own playlists. But for me, I'm not so much of a fan of sort of techno house music. I like rock. I don't like heavy screaming rock, but I'm a fan of people who are talented and can play instruments and have good singing voices. So you know, anything that sort of falls into that category that sort of takes my mind away from sort of what can sometimes feel like the endless saga of rowing up and down the slide for sort of a 20k ergo. Anything that helps take my mind off that is great by me. RowElite is a business that I set up following the Rio Olympics, and the main thought process for RowElite at the very beginning was to create a service where people could send me their video footage of them on a rowing machine or in the boat, and I could critique it and send you some notes and give you some coaching. And it was my way of sort of trying to give back to the rowing community, trying to get more people rowing indoor and outdoor, and just sort of, you know, use all the experience and knowledge that I've gained over the years of sort of representing my country and trying to help you guys out there in the public. But naturally, it's now sort of, we're into our 5th year, and it's naturally developed more into, I guess, 4 main aspects. We have an indoor crew, but then we have 3 different services that we offer. The RowElite indoor crew has now got over 100 members. They're based all around the world, and we compete virtually and in person, and we meet up every year for a couple of drinks, a bit like a boathouse party every year. But then the 3 services we offer are sort of 4 and 6 week programs that you can buy and download straight from the website, and they're going to build you up from anywhere from a 500 meter ergo test up to sort sort of a base fitness rate plan if you're a novice, and that'd be great for you. But there's also like the 5K, the 2K, the half hours, everything rowing related you can buy through these downloadable sort of PDFs. We also have subscription plans that are on an online app, which is third-party compatible, which is super cool. So you'll get 3 sessions every week. They run in 6-week cycles, building up again for 2Ks and 5Ks and engine builders, lactate tolerance, all those fun stuff. But because it's third-party compatible, you can connect your Fitbit, your Apple Watch, and your MyFitnessPal, so all your data can be stored in one app alongside your training. And then the last one is the remote training option, where myself or one of the other coaches become your personal online coach. We will write your sessions personally for you, and it's all going to be personalized with your own sort of split targets, stroke rates, rest periods, and that's about as tailored as you can get for an online program. There's 2 options where you can have just the raw programs, and then there's the sort of plus version where you can have monthly catch-up calls with myself or one of the other coaching staff. So that's roughly what RowElite is. It's a training platform. If any of you are interested in training programs, then head to RowElite.com, and I'll be getting back in touch with you as soon as I can. Hopefully I can help you achieve some PBs like, fortunately, so many of my clients have done.